It's like this spectral nest is just waiting for my intervention.
No step from the shadows.
Look to me. Spectre heading for that corpse. Think you could take on a ghost? Watch out! Spectre possession. They never learn, do they? Watch out! Spectre possession.
There's more of them. This bite's not easily chewed.
Blasted pest! Standing by. help if you need it. Call on me. Wards, you're on your own. Destroy those ghost wards if you want me back. wards. I'm going to need a hand here. Much better.
Still impressive.
Our bread, not our ale, our bread.
Hush now. All is well. Nothing bad will ever shite off.
We've been to God's Acre. Quite a tale it told us. You're not Caleb, are you? Or at least not entirely.
Ah, can't fog you. Alexander Watson. Long tale short, Caleb tried to bring his dead wife back. And I live here now.
So many questions. Where to even start?
He was trying to bring his wife back. How did you end up in the mix?
Caleb made a fine cobbler, a poor brother, a worse husband, and a truly terrible witch. The ritual went to shite, because, of course it did.
Do both of you share Caleb's body?
Share? No. This house of flesh is mine. But because I am a generous man, I allow my brother to live in the cellar. We were twins. I was the rotten half, they said. But who's the rotten half now? There's something else you should know. If you don't know it already. I'm not alone. I completed the ritual. My darling Ruth is in here too.
You died trying to save Ruth from a burning house. True.
True.
And where was Caleb while all this was happening?
He was there. He stood rooted in place, frozen in fear. And then it was too late. He could do nothing but watch us burn. Caleb's name was ruined then. We're just putting the boot in.
Caleb was no saint, but this is hellish grim. Does he deserve it?
Aye, he does. And it's not like I killed him. He's alive in here somewhere. Watching me ruin his name. He can hear me now. Destroying his reputation. As I had to hear him destroy mine when he painted me a fornicator.
How nice.
He took our love, Ruth and mine, and killed it. Now our love's reborn, and he can do naught but sit and watch. Caleb was a cad. Shite on him. Let him suffer.
You used the ritual to bring Ruth's spirit into Caleb's body. Why?
Love moves a soul to strange endeavors. We deserve a better life. I set myself to claiming it.
I understand your anger, more so your desire. But what of Ruth's? Did you consider what she wanted?
Caleb stole a life from me, but he also stole Ruth's voice. She shrank beneath him. Of course she wanted a second chance at life.
I'd like to hear this from Ruth. May I please speak with her?
No! We've carved ourselves out a little happiness at last. I'll not have you break it. Please, leave us alone. Give us this.
We need to speak to her, one way or another. If he won't tell us anything, perhaps the house Ruth died in will.
I'll be leaving you alone for now.
Alone? Not really. Hush now. All is well. Nothing bad will ever come to us
Ruth and
again.
Alexander are having an affair in her husband's body.
I can't find an angle that isn't just plain wrong.
Something feels wrong. Something about Ruth. If we find the ghost tie, we can talk to her. Destroy those ghost wards, if you want me back. The ghost wards feel far away from here. Just one keeps me from manifesting. Fancy knocking it down?
No more wards.
Thank you. go then?
The house that burned down. The roof fell in with them inside.
There's a lot of debris.
Time must be nearby. This work shows real sensitivity. Caleb?
Maybe. Not Alexander. I suspect we've just learnt a little about Ruth. Of course. Ruth's heart binds them like a bushel of rotting corn.
You! What do you have there? Stop right there, you rank rump! Whatever you found, it ain't yours!
You buried Ruth's heart in the ashes of the house that killed her. I find that odd.
You, a ghost, went digging in the ashes of a dead woman's house. You're ill-positioned to call me odd. Don't think I haven't felt your presence before.
Stow your tongue while I speak with Ruth. Ruth, can you hear me? Can you speak?
Pock off and die! I'm in charge here.
No. Hush ye, Alexander. I'll speak. I'm Ruth. I hear you.
I'm Anteya Duarte. We're here to help.
I'm glad. Please, end this nightmare. Help me.
Go to hell in a bag of shite. We're fine, and you have not the right, you hear? You've not the right. Her heart! Give it back!
Femi mi garam.
No more does he silence me. We may speak. Help me, please.
Caleb's letter changed your life. How did it feel at the time?
It tore me in two. I loved Alexander, but I deserved to marry a man who would be true. Caleb seemed decent. I believed he loved me. I thought I'd married the better brother, but I'd married a liar. A liar and a devil. And yet, not even he deserves this. No one deserves this.
How did Caleb treat you?
With adoration. I was an idol, worshipped, yet unloved. He was the sculptor and I was the statue, smiling down, unmoving from my pedestal with nothing to say. Now I'm sewn into a festering sack with the quivering remnants of my husband and the angry ghost of his dead brother. Please, let me out.
Who taught Caleb the resurrection ritual?
To say it was taught would mean he'd learned it. He read it off a page. As a sorcerer, Caleb makes a fine cobbler. The thing about Caleb, he was a good listener. As he worked, clients would bend his ear. The Haskell boy, for one. As Caleb pinned the governor's shoes, young Lammy would talk magic. Nonsense, really. But Caleb was listening.
Wait, Lammy Haskell gave Caleb the resurrection ritual?
After Lammy mentioned the ritual, Caleb became obsessed with it. He begged. Lammy, in his misplaced generosity, gave it. Caleb was intent on dark work. Lammy furnished written instructions.
Ruth, your husband Caleb's botched resurrection ritual brought you back, but allowed his brother Alexander to take you hostage.
Once we deal with the Watson brothers, you shall be free to ascend.
Do what you must. I'll suffer it if it leaves me free to go.
No! We can stay. Please, Ruth, let us stay.
Look at you. You're counterfeit, a sham of a thing. Your so-called life is no life at all. Caleb lied and stole your love. But when the time was right, you lied and stole his body. We're ending this nonsense now.
Alexander, you were wronged, but Ruth owes you naught. Not her life, nor her death.
I'm not my brother. I am the man who runs into the burning house. Ruth owes us nothing. But my love is true, and his is not.
Your love is not measured by what you win. It's measured by what you're willing to let go.
I'm sorry, Ruth. You deserved better. Better than him. Better than me. Send me away, Banisher. Let the devil stoke the flames of hell for me, and we'll see if I burn.
Take your head out your arse, you're not that important. Right, hold still, both of you. Let me pry you all apart.
Go in peace.
Are they gone?
Am I speaking with the cobbler, Caleb Watson? That you, Caleb?
I think... yes, that's me. Or it was me, once. For my bastard brother was my hollow keeper.
You're not entirely innocent, though. If you'll permit the unfortunate expression, there was more than one of you in it.
Aye. You were in it too. He ruined my name, ruined my flesh, ruined my wife. You gave him a pat on the cheek of his arse and sent him on his way. I am an imperfect man. My brother was a bastard and sly, and he tricked you onto his side. What does that make you?
I too am an imperfect man. I have mercy and patience in limited supply. Let's not test those limits further, eh? I mean, we've seen some horrors, but that...
This is the work.
You're right. There's nothing I'd rather be doing. That was something.
Don't take it to heart. Their choices are not your business.
Our choices are my business. And their consequences too.
Don't waver. We could win a battle, but we can't win the war. Nobody should conquer death. And we don't want to pay the price of trying.
Aye. I hear you.
Good. Now, let's see what Lammy Haskell has to say about raising spirits from the dead.
Governor.
May I help you, Mr. McCraith?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But the culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So, what are you waiting for?
I have the name. I don't have the full picture. When I do, I'll act.
Come, you have the name. You have the proof. The matter is simple, is it not?
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times perhaps, but he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, it would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
I'll get it. Mark me. I must find your son, Governor. Sooner rather than later.
His interests take him hither and thither. If he isn't here, he must be working on the outskirts. He's been sprucing up one of the abandoned houses there. I ordered them emptied when the sickness hit. Here, take the gate key. Go there. See for yourself. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about my son. Needless to say that I count, of course, on your discretion.
He was quick to condemn till it was his own son on the block. Who's he really protecting?
We'll bring him the proof he wants. If the boy is guilty, his father may not be able to protect him.
Hell's balls. What happened here?
Something's emanating from under there.
No wonder this place is off limits.
He likes us, like.
Think you could take on a ghost? Get the hell out of there!
One of these must be Lammy's hideaway. Lammy, you here? You were studying botany. Why botany? Arrowloo. Mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
He mentioned an old mill. Seemed fascinated by the place. The incisions are clean. The precision of an expert.
There's magic here, though faint.
Nothing incriminating. Yet.
Remember what we found at Caleb Watson's? Maybe we're not looking in the right place. If I had something to hide, I might hide it in an abandoned mill. Beware. Wards.
How are things?
All
May I ask?
I'm a shop.
Doing?
You might.
Looks derelict. Is he really inside?
What hides here in the dark? Come out, come out.
This relay lad seems dangerous.
His apprentice seems to be following him down the same path.
Looks like Lammy was trying to translate some sort of ritual.
Not any ritual. This is the lesser palingenesis.
I guess no one warned Lammy that grimy reincarnation rituals were not without risk. So, what are you hiding in here, evil spawn?
Glancing at the original writing, Lammy's work was poor. No wonder the ritual he spawned for Caleb from those botched words of power went wrong. More ghost wards. Someone was being extra careful.
He doesn't speak well of his dad.
Did he seek power? Was he hoping to step out of his father's shadow?
If he did, he went the wrong way about it. We need to get to the top floor. Bet we'll find something.
Red, come look.
No crank. Great.
It's just a lift. Why is this mechanism so complex? That book, again.
The Agrippa. That's not good. Not good at all.
What level of not good are we talking about exactly?
This book promises eternal life, but the promise is a trap. Let's hope it hasn't been used.
The crank. Good.
More magic muckery. Not necromancy, though. He tried to hide his presence from something dangerous. Something related to the Agrippa.
The lift should work now.
All this is more serious than we thought. I'm apprehensive. Not just because we're going underground.
We'll be careful. We don't know what Lammy was up to. And the signs are not encouraging.
You know, I could get to like it underground. The darkness, the gloom, the cool air.
Really?
No, not really. Not at all.
These roots are too strong to be removed.
I was thinking of trying my hand at them anyway. Hell's balls. Another sorrow used as a guardian.
troubles about. Can I join in too?
I'm releasing this thing.
Fucking all the fun. You'd miss it. You know you would. Over here. Look. I love doing that. Dead animals, again. Different symbols and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how he got through the Sorrow's vigilance?
So, here we are.
I suppose now we step into the void.
Suppose we do.
remove it. It slips through my fingers. Get rid of the other spectre first.
Get lost, won't you?
Dark rituals, void breach, general weirdness. Lemmy can't be far.
Wards, you're on your own.
The wards worked well enough. You didn't need to kill so many bots.
Demonologists use necromancy. Maybe he thought he'd bring them back when he was done.
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm?
The ward's power is gone. Red, I can't manifest anymore. Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low. Ask for help if you need it. Ghost wards. I cannot manifest.
Careful now.
Creepy hideout. The governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
This one's different. Looks like it died diseased. Ugh. What is this thing?
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void.
This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Sometimes I worry about you.
So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
As hiding places go, the void is quite the choice.
Yes, an amazing place. Or plane? World? The Araloo is not easily described, but it makes a fascinating study. Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did. A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
Men bonding over bereavement and black magic. A pretty tale indeed.
I should have proceeded with more caution.
You shouldn't have proceeded at all. We have a witch hunt on our hands. You could face trial for this botched ritual.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of De Occulte Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating!
Are you aware of what would happen if people learnt of your studies?
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning, and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
Are you a demonologist like your father?
More or less. Less, more so. My father sees occultism through the eyeglass of his faith, but I know better. So, more so?
If you don't share your father's faith, what do you believe?
I believe in the afterlife. The proof is about us. And if the void embodies eternal despair, there must too be a place of hope. But where? I ask myself, where?
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye, I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them, the very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
By the Araloo, do you mean the void?
Neither name does it justice. This place is beyond words. The Araloo, Mr. McCraith, is made of the very fabric of our primordial myths. Isn't it amazing?
How can you be sure the void has tainted the region?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
What do you expect to find at the source of the ooze?
To find a cure. The ooze seeps into our world, sickening us. I may be able to stop it. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
Who was your father's friend?
An itinerant Frenchman who often visited New Eden in recent years. He called himself a true pursuer. As a thinker, he was prolific and profound. My father was so proud to be included in his discourse. For him, knowledge is the ladder to greatness, and greatness is the prize. To me, knowledge is itself the prize.
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze then.
And with that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Araloo is not your home, Lamy. But thank you.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Mistress Duarte, but could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just, you're the first ghost I've met, in person, as it were.
I don't eat. Not in the way you do. I feel hunger. Again, not in the way you do.
Fascinating. And can you touch things, smell them? Are colours the same as you remember them?
My senses are different. It's difficult to describe how. I can see, sometimes touch. I cannot smell. Red tells me this is a blessing.
How do you manifest in this plane? Do you feel bound, or are you here by choice?
It feels as if I were clinging to a rope, high above the abyss. Even if I wished to let go, I could not bring myself to do it.
I see. What about your banisher skills? Can you use them? Do the accoutrements of your craft still work? As a ghost, do they not harm you?
The marks on my hands and the rings on my fingers aren't actually there. They have no more effect on me than a memory.
Can you talk to any ghost you wish?
No. I sense traces of their presence. To talk to them, I must still do the work.
And yet here I am, talking to you. How marvelous. The dead are rarely as articulate, nor are they accommodating. In fact, they're often quite rude.
We should probably get going. Some other time, then.
But we've merely scratched at the surface of the great mysteries. I mean, look around us. We stand here beyond the ultimate frontier. Sorry. I mean to say, yes, Mistress Duarte.
Antea, we should get going. So, the pious governor's unassuming son is our evil Harrow's witch.
The more powerful the loose cannon, the more dangerous it is. I don't know that I buy Lammy's hair of the dog theory, but I feel strange, and I suspect the ooze.
Oh, God. I need a wee bit of help here. Well, that was not pleasant. Not pleasant at all.
Wards, think you can fend for yourself? I am warded. I cannot.
manifest now.
Reinforcements!
Your funeral!
Oozes through the breach, suppurates like a festering wound.
How delightful.
Let's see what lies on the other side. Where are we now?
Underground, looks like.
Wonderful.
The ooze affects the incarnate too. Who goes there?
Is that a ghost?
I don't know. But I don't think we're alone. What might you be then?
What was...
Oh, shite.
Did you just say shite? You? It's bigger than I thought it'd be.
Is that a house from the Harrows?
We may be below the well.
No wonder they all got sick.
The cries of the innocent have reached the ears
This house belonged to a certain Antipas and Clemency Gibbs.
Is it just me, or...?
I felt it too.
The Gibbs' land was barren. They were struggling for money.
Look up. The ooze, oozed through the very stone.
And of all of them, just this one house fell down.
Maybe it was personal.
Was the Gibbs' house targeted by the ooze?
Obviously. Look around you.
Mr. and Mrs. Gibbs, have you read my paper?
I read it, aye. And then I washed my hands and prayed for grace. You claim to prove that there is no curse. Well...
A witch would say that, wouldn't she?
Wherever people gather to live, disease takes hold, and I believe... What are you doing?
Your evil lies shall be destroyed. We know who you are, and you shall be judged. Witch!
they were determined to do for her. She built a case for her rationality, and they tore it apart.
Have some of this.
Mrs. Gibbs, I presume.
You're angry.
Get low. This bite's not easily chewed.
Easy as pie.
I bet you can't cook.
Another shadow.
What do they want? Red, something is keeping me from manifesting.
In here? Ah, shite.
Wards. I'm going to need a hand here.
The greedy strive with purpose
Watch out! Spectre possession. Beware. Wards. Better.
You're welcome.
Now let's inspect the body. Off we go then.
Expected no less from this gift.
This isn't over yet.
Have some of this. Think we've missed it.
Someone didn't want to stay dead.
Clemency Gibbs blamed the epidemic on a witch. Come from New Eden town with the governor.
That's not what the woman they accused was saying.
The Gibbs were not at home to rational explanations.
Can't use this one.
See anything?
Either the water table is full of ooze, or there's another source.
Let's search upstream.
Try this on for size.
Teach them not to mess with a Banisher. Can I join in too? You need my help. Over there.
Elusive little buggers.
Shall we?
Try this on for size.
Get out of there!
Don't step in that. I mean it.
We'll find a way around then.
Something has me. Wards.
Those echoes we're hearing were the shadows speaking.
They always appear near the ooze.
So were the whispers.
But which came first?
Aye, still impressive.
The whispers say the same things over and over.
What kind of entity would be so obsessed?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
To deliver you from the way of evil, your captives are unleashed upon you.
That spectre's seen a corpse and it wants it for its own.
us more of.
Spectre heading for that corpse.
Yet in your cowardice and in your pride, you thought yourself
This looks perfectly drinkable.
Famous last words.
Why hasn't the poison spread to the groundwater?
Perhaps it shifts and shapes, like the void. Well, at the very least, it shifts. Looks like the ooze comes from a distinct source. Off we go then. Careful. A dark will is upon that thing.
You are not released, but exiled.
This whole country is rotten to the core.
And you're just now reaching this conclusion?
If I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you.
Perhaps if you gave me the space to have one, then we'd both be better off. Someone came through here, someone real, not just a shadow. Whoever it was, looks like the ooze got him. What do you think, Antea?
You wanted the space to have your own opinion. I'm giving it to you.
This must be Antipas Gibbs. Hell of a fall to live through. Now join in any time, Antea.
What do you think I'm doing?
This is God's land. How could we let a witch come to our community? Instructing our children, no less.
'Tis no surprise. New Eden brims over with backsliders. The governor, chief amongst them.
Aye, many had to sicken and die for him to act. But the deed is not yet done.
We must fight the Lord's good fight and cast the devil out for good. Many want to try the witch, aye, and many want to see her dead.
This isn't over yet. Think you could take on a ghost?
Did we miss a few? Look to me.
Those things came from the ooze. They're like those oriental shapeshifters we fought in Bremen.
Or Bacche liquefy. This is something else. The ooze reacted to our presence. The Gibbs were so angry. Pure entitled bigotry.
Maybe they were affected by the ooze. I mean, we've been snapping at each other since we got here. Something's toying with us.
I think they made the ooze. I don't think the ooze made them. We can't leave yet.
This is it. This is the source. How do we get to it?
You have turned your back from love, looked away when first needed. That's it.
Silence and the campfire. Just what Dr. Duarte ordered.
Something tells me this is the condemned well. Do you think you could get that bucket? The bucket is tainted.
Whatever you have sown, you shall reap. Alone, forlorn, misunderstood, so you shall remain.
A ghost left a fragment of their past here. An echo from the past drifts by.
The devil still breathes through her mouth. We are cursed, and you are stolen.
Clemency, Antipas, please. The woman has been jailed. As per custom, she will face trial and justice will be brought to this community.
Coming from a magic user himself. But can you or your demonologist discernment really be trusted?
How dare you insinuate such blasphemy? I'm a man of faith.
Then do what God commands of you. Governor, we ask for safety. If we do not get it, there will be consequences.
The governor used Urim and Thummim, and that made his flock suspicious.
Divination stones. He must have thrown them down the well when he sealed it. But why now?
He's afraid. The Earth took the Gibbs house. Perhaps he thought he was a target too. The Gibbs had a hand in rigging the witch trial, but he was the one who sealed it.
That echo proves that things were getting out of hand. For his son's safety and his own, Haskell must have feared the suspicious mob.
All deserted you. Nonsense.
This can't be good.
Who are you?
Confess! Let them speak!
If we speak, shall you listen?
Impudence! Provocation! Read the charges!
Let rule in the grave. You have blood on your hands and weakness in your heart. Guilty!
Sworn to vanquish evil. You conspired with witches.
Sworn to banish all ghosts. Instead, you embrace one.
The charges. Cowardice, oath-breaking, deception. The verdict. Guilty. The sentence. Pain hereafter.
I am no witch hunter. Never was.
Bloody hell. Not me. It was a cheap trick. Just get out of that shadow.
It's working. Keep at it. Getting rid of that ooze should weaken the shadows.
I expected to fight myself today.
Sentence you to anger, to regret, and then to
Ghosts are dangerous, and I've no reason to show mercy. Bloody shadow.
Banishers are guilty of poisoning the body politic. You portray yourselves as saviors sent to deliver us. But with your dark arts, the evil only worsens. Your witches and witches must fall.
We use rituals to help the living, not curse them.
Magic is only a tool. Your strikes do nothing. Grenade.
We have passed judgment. The guilty are known. Now justice is ours.
Enough. We please get out of here. That was awful. This trial. It was as if Deborah wanted us to face what she had faced. But all I feel is beaten.
I feel judged. Like I'll never be understood again. Justice miscarried here.
Of course. That's it. I know what that was. Such spectre of injustice has a name. The mythical infamy. I've only read about them. They're so rare, most think them a myth.
Haskell's cowardice is to blame. To save his own ass, he condemned a woman he knew to be innocent.
And so a terrible ghost was born, and sickness piled on sickness. Haskell has so much to answer for.
Is it just me, or?
I felt it too.
You'll get it next time.
Raging Vandal? That's gotta be good.
It's coming for you.
Wasn't I always?
That down there, I was tense. I was impatient.
Me too. That infamy really got to us.
Years of anger coursed through me. Yet now I can't even remember why.
Me neither. This is what an infamy does. It's over now. We're here.
I said something to hurt you. I'm sorry.
I forgive you. And I hope that you forgive me too.
How refreshing it is to the soul to be at once. One thing above all else, my friends, is true. The wicked are at odds with themselves.
Oh, good. His latest sermon. We haven't missed it.
The Lord's promise of salvation from hell pleases them. The Lord's salvation from misery and sin here on earth does not.
This doesn't look like salvation from misery and sin.
The wicked pray for deliverance from the fires of hell, while piling the kindling high. They proclaim their love for their Lord, yet, in His name, they serve themselves. Their self-regard crumbles in the light of their hateful iniquities.
So true.
Mr. McCraith, my friend, I'm so glad you agree. Now, the wicked man never questions...
I have your answers.
What? Yes, good. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, if you'll give me just a moment.
It's quite the story. You might not wish to hear it. Neither may the good people hear.
Please, this is not the time.
We want to hear the story. Let the Banishers speak.
Tell them, Red. Tell them good.
Aye. It is a story that starts with a question. A question for you, Governor. And maybe for all the good people of New Eden. If I give you a witch, will you do what you did to Deborah Comenius?
Comenius, say you? The school teacher walked with the devil and paid the appropriate price. That's the beginning of the history and also its end.
Is it, though? Now, I've learned much about Deborah Comenius and what happened to her, and it tells a very different tale.
And what story, pray you, does it tell?
It tells the story of a man, a latter-day King Solomon. When plague struck his subjects, they turned to him for guidance and protection, for they were God-fearing folk, and he was a godly king. The king turned his flock to God, but it was not enough. The plague spread on. The king, worried about his position, needed a sacrificial lamb.
You lose the run of your tongue, Mr. McCraith, and of the head to which it's fixed. There was no lamb. There was a trial, fair and lawful.
The trial was not fair. You had no proof, and you knew it.
Credible witnesses gave believable testimony, sir.
Witnesses like Gibbs, who pressured you into a guilty verdict to avoid being suspected of witchcraft yourself.
There was pressure, I'll not deny it. But I did what I did to protect the colony. It was a difficult time.
The picture of yourself that you hold in your mind is that of a great occultist.
To repel the devil, the wise and fearless man must learn the Black Spy's tricks.
Do you then consider yourself a true demonologist?
In order that a war be just, 3 things are necessary. Firstly, the authority of the sovereign. Secondly, a just cause. Thirdly, a rightful intention.
Aye, the Summa Theologiae of St. Thomas Aquinas, a classic quote from which you have conveniently omitted an important detail. To wit, a just cause is required, namely that those who are attacked should be attacked because they deserve it on account of some fault. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the veil, past the hem, beyond the invisible? Have you ever heard of the Araloo?
What gibberish is this?
No? Your good friend Etienne Roulet did not, it seems, deign you worthy of his secrets. Never mind. You're a pompous coward, fearful of anyone different, as human as that is.
There must be a man to judge, or there is no order. A man to make the judgment, and a man to enforce it. Of all people, you know this.
I live and let live. I choose only for the dead.
I choose for the living. These people are sinners, sir, and must be led back to the light. This is my mandate, my duty.
What do you really want, Governor?
I wish only to serve. I am the trusted servant of the good people of New Eden. Without me, they're lost.
Without them, you would be lost.
Yes. Maybe I do need them. How very human of me. But these people undoubtedly need me, Mr. McCraith. And there is no one else.
Admit it. You toy with magic you don't understand.
You, sir, are jealous.
I, sir, am tired. I've done my job, fulfilled my contract, I've found the source of the curse. The poison below the well is no more, no thanks to you.
Aha! Poison it was then. The weapon of the wicked, to weaken the people's will. What was it, belladonna, hemlock, foxglove?
Betrayal. Truth unspoken, secrets and lies, wrongs basically, your wrongs. The wrongs you visited upon Deborah Comenius, the wrongs that led to her death.
She died at the hand of the body politic. She died at all our hands. Most of all, she died at her own.
She died because she would not submit.
'Twas not my plan to kill her, stupid, stubborn woman. Why did she not confess? I would have granted clemency. I would have shown her mercy.
You say your flock forced your hand. For the greater good, you say, you indulge their bloodlust. I believe you did it. I don't believe your motive. You delighted in your magical witch hunt, your trivial rituals. You thought you'd be lauded for your humility and skill. But you have neither. Now all around you crumbles. Yet still you state your claim as the rightful protector of the people of New Eden. I have found the culprit, the devil worshipper, the source of the evil that has befallen your community. Sorry, son.
having a laugh.
Can't be.
Don't! My son, a witch? You mock us, sir. Present proof or retract your ridiculous accusation.
Now you need proof. For years, Lammy studied your precious library of the forbidden, but he outdid his father. He learned. 'Twas Lammy who taught Caleb Watson the dark ritual that brought his beloved wife back from the dead.
I was trying to help. I did nothing wrong.
No.
Lord have mercy!
For shame.
Boy was always strange.
No. No, Lammy is a good boy. I won't have it.
Easy, Governor. Your son's intentions were sound, and his mistakes, grave as they were, did not poison the well.
Forgive me for swearing in the meeting house, but this is a blooming farce.
Have I ever failed you? In evil times, have we not endured? Have I not protected you?
Fooled by his own flesh. How could he be so blind?
Have faith. The Banisher has lifted the curse. Brighter days are here. I knew you were trouble. You and your lady. Look what you've done.
Don't push your luck, Haskell. I've given you a shot at redemption. It's more than you gave Deborah.
Damn you, Banisher. Paid in consideration of a curse lifted. All rights defended now and hereafter. I look forward to never seeing you again.
Don't count on it. The work's not done.
I hate this place. Rest up, then please, let's get out of here.
You're angry. Can tell.
Of course you can. Aren't you angry?
I'm more disgusted. This region is doomed. I know it in my bones.
There's no shortage of suffering around here.
Haskell saw to that when he ordered Deborah's execution. I know that we're together, and it makes us strong, but I'm still wary.
Don't lose yourself. You've done far more than I could ever have asked.
I'll do what it takes, and gladly. You need not ask it.
The closer we get to my body, to the truth about what happened here, the stronger I feel. My senses rise. It's as if I can taste the silence, smell the scent of wood smoke, feel the warmth of your body, feel Deborah's wrath. I feel it as if it were a part of me. I understand her anger. I feel her rage and can't help but relate to it. But that anger of mine, that fear, I thought when I left home, I'd left them behind.
Past is the past. You still get to choose your future. Times like this, old wounds can ache. Seems normal.
It's more than that. My past casts a growing shadow upon my heart. So much so that the sister I thought was gone for good seems to be winding her way back to me.
Your sister, Ayomide, wasn't it?
No. As a child, Before I left Cuba, I had a friend. I chose to call her my sister. That night, the night I died, I dreamed of her. I dreamed of Calendre.
Are you sure it was a dream? Is that why you left the schoolhouse without me?
Yes. It must have been a dream. She wasn't there. I mean, how could she have been there? But I heard her voice. I'd swear on it. How could that be?
The nightmare, perhaps?
I don't think so. The nightmare felt close. This felt like it came from further away. As if from a different realm of being altogether.
What did you hear her say?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think she said we were family. Never to be divided.
She's after my job. She can't have it. I'm your family now. Nothing's tearing us apart.
Death has already torn us apart.
I hate this is where we are. I hate that I'll have to say goodbye. But for now, I'll do everything in my power to catch you.
This is how we win. Thank you for being the kindest soul I've ever met.
Thank you for being the bravest.
Ceridian?
What do you mean, Ceridian?
Ceridian, what's wrong? I don't think she can hear us. We need to go back to the swamps.
You understand that? But it's a bird.
It's Ceridian, by way of the invisible, speaking through the crow.
Pity it doesn't work both ways. Imagine having a conversation with someone far away. Can you feel it? I have goosebumps.
If I bruise the bud so the specters inside show themselves, you could shoot them. Once freed, the ivy should quickly wither.
Thanks for the gardening tip.
We can get to that ivy from the other side. The wards have weakened.
Ceridian's power wanes.
almost fancy my own garden.
Trust me, you don't want a garden. Nobody's home. I can feel it.
Who there? Where could they be?
If I bruise the bud so the specters inside show themselves, you could shoot them. Once freed, the ivy should quickly wither. Picked and culled. Crows. They flock to that great tree up there.
The Banishers are here.
Already? How unfortunate.
You called us.
Did I? I thought I had more time. In the end, it runs out for all of us. As I depart this old carcass, I leave no burning heart behind. Go or stay. To prevail, you must first set your heart at peace. When at last you face the nightmare, you must both be clear on what you want. You must.
What do you mean?
It is not for me to give you answers, only to prepare you for what awaits. Then we can all go to sleep. Seeker doesn't hate you, Rory. She's just not used to being trusted. Protect her. For me. You're too late, old mosshead, as ever. Time for peace. I forgive you, old man.
I'm right here.
Even a mad old soldier can get lucky.
Soldiers, bring me her head!
Forget that bloody mosshead for now!
Die, you bastard! Right, this off.
Handle this. Take on, soldiers in charge!
Die, you bastard!
ready and waiting.
Old Mosshead is no more. He'll never drink from your skull now, will he? Another ancient promise broken. But what about me? How do I live now? You were all I ever had, and all I'll ever have. Can I set the world on fire now? I just want to see it burn. A pity. Farewell, then. She took me in when no one else wanted me. She taught me to stand up straight.
Leave her be. For now.
I'm tired of all this death.
Want to talk about it?
I will do.